Next thing is what I need to do is I need to have the debt payment, a debt schedule. This is because since we do have loan amount and interest rate, so it's better to have for us to have a dedicated worksheet on the debt payment. So what I'm going to do is I just want to copy all this, Control C, and then I just press Control B, alternate HOI, and then I'm going to put my cursor on B4, alternate WFF, so that we can freeze pane. And the only difference what I want to do is instead of operation tab, I just want to link to this particular cell over here. So I just link it here, enter, Control Shift right, Control R. So now this is our data. So now we do have the operation here. If you look carefully in the assumption tab, we do have actually two types of loan repayment: equal yearly payment and mortgage. So I just want to copy this and I want to paste it over here. So Control Alternate V and transpose. So now this is the data. So when it comes to equal yearly payment is meaning to say that every year we pay equally. Okay, every year we pay equally. So I'm going to put here equal. Go to the assumption tab. So this is our loan amount. I'm going to select this, log this, and then I divide it by the number of years. So if you just say how many years it takes, so let me just go up. So the loan tenure is about 20 years. So I'm going to lock this and I'm going to press enter. So when I press enter, you notice that this is equal yearly payment, but we don't pay during the construction. We pay during the operation phase. So I just want to press this times with this operation period flag and enter. So of course now is 0, alternate HK, Control G, go to column Z. This is row number 8. Enter, Control Shift left, Control R, and then there you go, Control Spacebar, alternate HOI. So now this is the data, but if just say you want to make sure that every column is the same, alternate HOW, I put 15. So now this is the data. So now this is equal yearly payment. But what about mortgage? Mortgage, we will use equal PPMT formula. So PPMT is basically payment on the principal based on the periodic or constant payment. So I'm going to press tab. So here we do have rate, period, number of period, present value. So now let's talk about the rate. So I go to assumption, the rate, the interest rate basically, the interest rate. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to press lock. Then we know the period. So just say I want to go to this particular tab over here, sheet 2. So our operation year, the period is over here. I'm going to press comma and then number of period, that means number of years, which is the tenor. So the loan tenor is 20 years. I'm going to press lock and then comma, present value is our loan amount. So I'm going to press this and I'm going to press F4 and enter. So now you notice if it has an error because right now it is 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put here if error, and if just say there's an error, then it should be 0. Enter. And there you go. So now instead of RM, I want to change to accounting format and I want to put a negative value. Control G, and then after that I go to column Z, 9, enter, Control Shift left, Control R. So now you notice that this is basically the mortgage value. This is mortgage, this is equal yearly payment. So now what I want to do is I want to put here equal, and I want to go to the assumption tab and link it over here. So this one is based on the payment of equal yearly method. I want to press enter. So now this is our data. And then what I'll do is I put here equal XL. I'm going to use X lookup. Link to here. Log this. The lookup array is over here. So I'm going to log this as well. And then this is our lookup array. Control G, Z, 11, Control Shift left, Control R, alternate HK. So now this is the data. So just say I were to change to scenario number 2. When I change to scenario number 2, it is a mortgage payment. So over here, it will change accordingly. So this is how we can actually use scenario analysis to actually alter and see the payment structure. Next thing is what I want to know is I want to know the loan payment, the loan schedule. So I'll put here opening. Then I'll put here addition. So we do have an addition when we take the loan, and then after that I'll just put here minus, and then we minus with what? So this is opening, this is addition, and this what I'll call as repayment, and then the last one is closing. Okay, so since loan is a balance sheet item, it has the opening balance and closing balance. So your opening is always based on previous period closing, and then your addition, if you notice during the construction phase, we got borrow money. So meaning to say this is our addition. We got actually borrow money. So this is our addition, and then the repayment is actually up here. So I'm going to put here equal and link to this data over here. And then our closing is basically your total. and then I'm going to change this to alternate HK. So now this is the data. Control G, go to column Z, row 16, Control Shift left, Control up, Control R. So now this is the data actually. So now if you notice carefully, so this is our opening, this is our addition, and this is the payment. So now we do have the loan schedule, but we also need to calculate the interest and the principal. So I'm going to put here interest, I'm going to put here principal, and this is the total debt service. So basically your interest is actually, what is the formula is, if you go to assumption tab, we do have the interest rate. So the interest rate you multiply with the opening balance. So I'm going to select this equal the opening balance you multiply with your interest. So I go to the assumption, I link over here, and I press F4 and enter. So now this is the data, but we also need to multiply with the operation period flag. So I click here and press enter. Okay, so now when I drag to the right, so now we do have this interest payment, and your principal is basically based on the repayment. So equal ABS absolute, and I link over here. Then I press alternate equal, and then Control A, alternate HK, then Control R. So now this is the data. Then I press Control G, go to column Z, row 20, Control Shift up, Control Shift left, Control R. So now this is your data actually. But just say I want to know until 2049. So when I press Control R and then Control Spacebar, alternate HK, you will notice that this data over here, if you notice carefully, if just say I were to go to my assumption tab and just say I were to press scenario number 3. When I press scenario number 3, you will notice that still we have the equal yearly payment. However, if just say I go to my assumption tab, I change to scenario number 2, you will notice that there will be no mortgage. Why? Why is it so? This is because the loan tenure is only 20 years. So after 20th year, we don't have to pay anymore. So in this case, if just say I were to change my assumption to scenario number 3, you will notice that in your sheet 2, we do have the payment. So how we can actually avoid this? Well, in this case, what we can do is we just put here if, okay, if that this particular number, it is greater than 20. So if just say it's greater than 20, you put it 0. Otherwise, you link it over here. Then you put here close bracket and enter. So now Control Shift right, Control R, and there you'll notice. So this is the data. So whenever a data just say it is more than 20, so I'm going to move this. Okay, and Control R. So whenever it is more than 20, you don't have any payment. So now this is how you can actually prepare your financial modeling for debt schedule.